There was more difficult testimony today in the murder trial of Lindsay Clancy, the Massachusetts mom who killed her 3 children. The court heard from the medical examiner who examined the bodies of her kids after they were killed. Clancy cried loudly as the doctor testified about performing an autopsy on her infant son.
This is a photograph of Callan at the time of autopsy, I'm showing a ruler underneath his neck, above which you can see abrasions.
The defense argues Clancy is not criminally responsible because she was over-medicated and experiencing extreme postpartum psychosis at the time of her murders. CBS News correspondent Shanelle Kaul joins us on this very difficult story. What happened in court today?
So the big witness today was someone named Chris Clancy. This is Patrick Clancy's father. So in essence, Lindsay Clancy's former father-in-law. And he was asked by prosecutors about the kind of mother that Lindsay Clancy was. Here's what he said.
She was very mothering.
And was she protective?
I would say yes, like any mother would be.
So during cross-examination, Lindsay's defense attorney, Kevin Reddington, asked a pretty similar line of questioning about what kind of mother she was and what kind of family life the Clancys had. And here's how the then father-in-law characterized it.
Do you have an opinion as to how Lindsay was as a mother that you could see?
She was very, very good. She fed them great. She did a lot of things with them. They did like the all-American family.
And we also, Lindsay, heard from some of Lindsay Clancy's former colleagues and some of her friends, including one longtime friend who had known her for almost 30 years. And all of them had testified that this is someone who they understood to be a caring, a doting, a dedicated mother. And they all also notably said that this is someone who expressed to them that she was struggling with her mental health in the weeks and the months before she eventually killed her 3 young children.
We're saying former father-in-law because she and her...
They're now divorced. And Patrick is now remarried.
This one friend who had been friends with her for some 30 years visited her, I believe, in the hospital after the murders, right? And they played Uno. And there was kind of a striking part of her testimony that stuck out to me, maybe in terms of what the prosecution is trying to prove, and that is that she didn't really mention the murders at all. Can you tell us any more about that? Yeah,
and we learned more about that during cross-examination. Kevin Reddington did ask about that moment, and what had come out was that apparently some of her mental health providers had mentioned maybe it's not worth talking about what had happened. And she also admitted on the stand, that friend, that, you know, it would be pretty uncomfortable to talk about that soon after it had just happened.
What's next in this trial?
So a couple of key witnesses we're waiting to hear from, a doctor and a nurse practitioner, people who were working with Lindsay Clancy, who responded to her when she was struggling to her mental health crisis before all of this happened. So likely what we'll hear is testimony about what her condition really was, some of the symptoms that she'd presented, and interestingly, the prescription medication, because we know that she was prescribed almost 13 medications before all of this happened. So something that the jurors are going to have to consider ultimately is whether or not all of that played a part in what happened.
No question on the fact that she killed her kids, but it's whether she was, in fact, in a psychosis state and would be presumably after the trial in a facility the rest of her life, as opposed to guilty of murder, right?
Those are the 2 options at hand, yeah.
Okay, Shanelle Kaul, thank you.
Yeah.